Hello, welcome to Brothers in Dice. My name is Josef, and this video will be about everything that I have painted this year. First of all, sorry for not posting a video in a long time. I think it is 5 years since last video. But 2024 was actually a pretty good hobby year for me. And I decided to film a video about everything that I have painted. One of the reasons why I did have a successful hobby year was that I participated in an online painting challenge called OPC. This is a challenge that is run by Warren and Paul. I think perhaps there are other people involved. There are definitely many more participants who paint the minis and submit pictures every month. And it is supported by the Plastic Wreck podcast, which is a podcast which is on every Monday and is a perfect background for your miniature painting. If you do not know them, look them up. So, the online painting challenge works in a way that there is a theme every month and you paint something for that theme. A war machine, group of infantry, and so on. At least this is how it worked last year. I was painting mostly my skeleton army and my Greeks for online painting challenge this way. Next year, or this year actually, what they will do is, I'm not sure if there are themes, but there is a set points limit and you will just paint stuff and calculate the points for each unit that you have painted. So I did calculate how many minis I have painted, and in total, in 2024, I have painted 275 miniatures. There were no OPC points last year, but it would make up 3,510 points. The reason why, or the way the points are calculated is the regular guy is for 10 points, big model, so something like cavalry or maybe these guys are for 20 points, and then you can also get bonus points for well-painted stuff, where you invested an extra effort. So for me, that was of course, the bust that I painted for my brother, and the Moonstone miniatures, where I took extra effort to paint them. There are a few things which are missing on the table because I gave them away. But other than that, this is pretty much everything. So let me switch the camera and I will show you everything. First, we have here the skeleton army. This was the main thing that I was painting through the year, mostly for the OPC, the online painting challenge. And each month I had a theme. That's why I have all kinds of different things in the army, like, the riders, there is the catapult, the war machine, and other unusual stuff. Anyway, here is a big unit of GW skeletons, the old ones. It is a mix of the main kit, plus there is a box of the Underworlds game skeletons, and also there in the back I have few minis which come from the Oathmark game. There in the back we have the Cursed City skeletons. This was the first thing that I have painted for the army. They are on a movement tray that I have designed. This is intended to be used for the Kings of War. So you have a tray in the back where you can put the dice for marking hit points and stuff. Then we have the skeleton cavalry. This is an old GW kit. We have skeleton crossbowmen. These are 3D prints from the one-page rules. Again, on the movement tray designed for Kings of War, but this one I didn't design. This I downloaded. In the front, I have another group of 3D printed skeletons. This time these are, well, I do not remember the company who did them, but they look pretty cool. This is the King's Guard. At least that's how I call them, like the elite group of skeletons. In the front, we have the heroes. So there is the Skeleton King and Heinrich Kemmler, the Necromancer, and a Vampire. So the Vampire and the Kemmler minis I painted, well, not this year, but many years ago. I just included them here because they are natural part of the army. Okay, in the back we have the giant bats. These are also 3D prints by the one-page rules. Then we have one-page rules. Well, a hero on a monster. Sorry, do not know the name of the model. Then we have the main hero of the army, Neferata. This is a mini that I also put a little bit more work into, since she is like the centerpiece of the army. This is a GW model. I'm not sure if they are still selling it, but probably yes. Then we have a catapult. This is another 3D print, but I'm not sure who makes it. There's a pretty cool, never mind. I wanted to show off firing of the catapult, but it seems to be stuck right now. Then we have the corpse guard. The corpse guard is another mini by the one-page rules. And that is pretty much everything that I have painted for the skeleton army. There are a few other things on this side of the table. Well, hang on. There are these two buildings. So there was a theme 1 month to paint some terrain. So I did these two buildings, which are from the GW Mausoleum kit. One day I will do a full gaming board of this terrain, and at least I want to. Not sure if I get into it. Anyway, two more things on this side of the table which are not part of the army. The weird shit. So at some point during the year, it was quite early in the year, I got interested in the Turnip 28, and I became a Patreon of a guy who calls himself the Knucklebone or Knuckle Duster, something like that, minis. A bunch of these cool scouts, but I only painted this small group. Perhaps I will continue this army this year. We'll see. And one more thing on this side. This is Wyvern by Rescale Minis, another 3D print. Um, of course, I will use it as an Asgul on a Fell Beast for Lord of the Rings. This guy was actually featured on Instagram page of the Rescale Miniatures. It was quite popular paint. Follow me on Instagram. The name is BID_JOZEF. I will put the link to my Patreon, not Patreon, the Instagram into the description of the video. Okay, this side of the table, historicals. Let's start with these guys. So I painted them at the start of the year. This was the finish of my Almoravid army or battle group for Saga. These are also 3D prints. The author is, of course, Reconquer Miniatures. Fantastic sculpts. Then we have Baron's War. At least I painted this group for the Baron's War. So there is Sheriff of Nottingham, both on a horse and on foot. So this is a metal mini from Footsore Miniatures, and behind him he has a small retinue of pikemen, but these are actually Perry Miniatures 100 Years War minis. Oops, too close, too close. I'm not sure if I'm getting stuff into focus. We'll see. Then another historical thing. This I painted towards the end of the year. Since New Bold Action is coming out, I wanted to add few more things to my German Panzer Grenadier army. So this is another unit of Panzer Grenadiers, and I did a sniper. So this guy, these two guys are a sniper team. There is an officer there. This is an old Warlord plastic kit. Then the biggest part of the historicals this year were the Greeks. So I wanted to try out another Footsore game, Mortal Gods. Oh God, I hope I remember the name of the game correctly. Anyway, it's a skirmish game from the Peloponnesian Wars. So there is a group of Spartans, no, not Spartans, the Athenians and guys from the other city-states. The minis are mostly Victrix, but there are a few Footsore metal miniatures. There is also a 3D print of Xenophon. This is a 3D print of Xenophon from the Wargames Atlantic range. They have a 3D sculpting range. So mostly Athenians, and here mostly Spartans. This is a pretty cool Footsore sculpt. Come on. Focus. No focus. Sorry. Okay, that's it for the historicals. There are two random minis that I painted, that I 3D printed and painted. Here, this guy. So this is a display mini that I painted for my brother. I just borrowed it for this video again, and I invested quite a lot of time into this guy. So this is Eddie from the Seventh Son album. I have a bunch of these. I would like to do more display miniatures this year. We'll see. Next, yeah, the Lord of the Rings Rohan Army. So this army was in somewhat painted state for something like 15 years. And this year, towards the end of the year, I finally finished it. So we have the Riders of Rohan. We have Warriors of Rohan. More Warriors of Rohan, now with spears and archers. And here we have heroes. So we have Eomer, Eowyn, and I also had Gimli for some reason. Okay, I do not know why. He doesn't really fit into the army, but anyway. Lord of the Rings just had a new release, a new, what you call them, the new rule book. And there is also a new box focused on Rohan and based on the new movie that came out recently. I did watch the movie. It was not that great, but I'm happy to get back into Lord of the Rings. I actually played a few games. And I bought the new box, so I will do more Lord of the Rings stuff. Then, this is the thing which I did. So this is Moonstone. Moonstone is a very cool, very original and very cool looking skirmish game made by a company called Goblin King. And minis for Moonstone are so cool that I was using them as a reward. Whenever I painted something, that I was putting off for some time, I allowed myself to spend some time on a Moonstone mini. I put much more effort into painting Moonstone minis than other stuff that I have been showing you, other than the the bust that I painted there. Then we have some board game stuff. So here I continue slowly to paint more things for Mythic Battles Pantheon. So I have some skeletons, a centaur, Arachne and her spiders. And behind them, so spoiler alert, these are minis for a game called Oathsworn. This is like an RPG game where you do not need a game master, or how is it called? The dungeon keeper, dungeon master. So there is an app that tells you the story. So I played it with my 4 friends, and we had like quite a few, 10 sessions maybe. We are almost finished. There are 2 more chapters left for us out of 21, I think. So we are on chapter 19. Very cool story, and actually pretty cool minis. Okay, anyway, this is everything that I have painted this year. There are a few things that I didn't include because I do not have them anymore. But other than that, that's it. Okay, guys. See you next time. Bye-bye.